Okay. Good evening, everyone. From my end, though. Good evening, Liz. Nice to finally meet you in person or via the online space. Welcome to our monthly fellows meetup. And some of our fellows are here. Let's just give them 2 to 3 minutes to come into the chat room. I'll kick off in earnest. Thank you. Okay, so participants are coming up. Okay, okay, we can start now. Yeah, hi everyone, once again. Welcome to our monthly fellows meetup. And this fellows meetup is in partnership with Cirble Group, Cirble Foundation, Cirble Company, Cirble. But please let that word stick in. It's in partnership with Cirble. And we have our guest speaker, our facilitator here, Liz Joseph, who is with us in the building. Please make some noise and welcome her. Right. So welcome to our fellows meetup. I am really stoked to connect with all of us here, and I welcome everyone. So if we delve right in, please put in your chat room your name and the country you're joining us from so that we can know you. As you know, this fellows meetup is themed from vision to impact, redefining step by closing the gender gap. Of course, you know that is our mission, our vision at WAAW Foundation to close that gender gap and the bias about women in STEM. And this month we celebrated the women in STEM, and so that has brought us to this theme from vision to impact, where we can redefine STEM by closing that gender gap. And so once again, this fellows meetup is in partnership with Cirble Group. So let us meet us in the chat room. Let's meet up in the chat room. Okay. I have Akomolafe Peace from Nigeria, Josephine from Rwanda, Andrian from Congo. Wow, Adekami Mojirade from Nigeria. I have Ogechukwu Okoli from Nigeria as well. Let the introduction keep on rolling and let's meet each other in the group chat. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining this month's Fellows Meetup, and we are glad to actually have you here. As that is going on, we have a little icebreaker for our fellows. I mean, the whole essence of this Fellows Meetup is for our fellows. And right about now, a little icebreaker for you. We want to know if your chapter was going to be a movie currently, what would the title be? Let the answers roll in the chat room. If your chapter was going to be a movie right now, what would the title be? So we want to loosen up. Let's shade off some code. That is why it's called an icebreaker, right? Let's get to know each other more and have a smiling face before we kick off for this month's fellows meetup. Right. So let's hear from you. I want to see really funny answers here. If your chapter was going to be a movie right now, please. Big strong tree. Wow, interesting. That's from Liz. Liz said it's going to be a big strong tree. Okay, my chapter will be now you see me, now you don't. Really, that's very hilarious. That's from Ebere. Um, please, let's keep it coming. The icebreaker is just going to take a little while so that we don't spend much of our time here. Let's see your answers. If your chapter was going to be a movie right now playing in front of you, or you're seeing a movie in a cinema or whatever, what would the title be? What would the title be? Resilience. Wow, this is nice. That is coming from Akomolafe. Peace. This is very nice. Resilience. I mean, I think I started this year with that word, resilience, because there were lots of things I think I didn't achieve last year that I kicked off with this year. And our last month's meetup also emphasized a lot on resilience. So I'm glad you're keeping up that trail from last meetup to this one. Well done, Keith. Let's keep it coming, please. Fellows, type in the chat room. We have almost 25 participants here. Okay, for Helga, she said overcomers, challenges one wonders. That is very funny. But then I like the spirit that you are an overcomer. You think you surmount every challenge and you will definitely. And Footmina said will be the research. Wow, interesting. This is nice. This is nice. Adekimi Mojira, they say Avengers Assembly. This is so funny. Okay. Last minute legends from Graziana Sherry. Wow. And Israel said is the reborn. Hmm. This icebreaker is going to be the most interesting icebreaker I've seen in a long time. Ogechukwu said is my chapter will be now you see me, now you don't. Okay, I think I've seen this before. And Madu Abuchi said the title would be Unstoppable. Now, these are really nice movie title for your um chapters. Please, where you have challenges, I urge us to be resilient. And these very lofty titles that you gave your chapters, they're going to reflect. They're really going to reflect if we hold hands together and continue to strive. It really reflects in your chapters. Okay, right. So next. is our facilitator. Our facilitator for today is Liz Joseph. So Liz Joseph is an award-winning data scientist. As I'm reading this, please be clapping because it's not easy. It is not easy. Liz Joseph is an award-winning data scientist, educator, and change maker currently serving as the director at Cirble, while pursuing a master's in education policy and management at Harvard University. Please, if you want to go to Harvard, please start clapping. A former data analytics lead at Meta and recipient of the prestigious Women to Watch Award, Liz has also held roles at Google, leveraging her expertise to drive significant technological and operational impacts. Deeply committed to STEM equity, she is the founder of the initiative Cirble.org that have provided free coding and AI education to hundreds of students across Africa and earned her recognition as a runner-up for the Queen's Young Leaders Award. Beyond her professional achievements, Liz is a children's book author and a creative who enjoys songwriting and salsa dancing, all while working toward her goal of revolutionizing the African education and technology system through innovation. Please, let the clap be resounding. This is a phenomenal woman that we have in our midst today. And we welcome you, Liz. And here you can take up the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today and really, truly honored to get to impart a little bit of what I've learned on my journey. I look young, but I'm not very young. But I'm just a Pan-African who's very passionate about our people, especially girls and women, and getting them into STEM. And so that's why I'm here today. Thank you to WAAW Foundation, of course, for partnering with me on this. And I'm super excited to share with you guys. It's going to be a story. It's going to be a journey. I've put into the link, but I'll share it again. If you want to follow the story yourself on your phone or on your laptop, here is the link. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen, and it's going to be very participatory. So it would be just you guys voting in the chat. We're going to go on a journey together and, just make it a bit fun. So let me just share my screen now. Okay.
I think I should stop sharing. Okay, you can share. Yeah, great.
Okay, amazing. All right. So now we've already kind of discussed my experience. You can always reach out to me on LinkedIn as well if you want to chat. I'm always happy to have conversations about my journey and how I got there. So for me, my biggest goal now is that we've got about 200 million or 220 million African children that are outside of school. And I know that with business and private equity, we can always bring those kids, we can fund these kids to go to school. And so everything that I build and my business Cirble is all to help fund kids to go to school. And for me, growing up, just a bit of background around, I grew up in Johannesburg, and my mother was a computer specialist. And so our neighbors used to throw out computers, and so we'd go and take the computers and fix them and make them work. And that's how I fell in love with computers, and that's how I got into STEM, And so I've been passionate about it ever since. And so through Cirble.org, that's where I partnered with universities in South Africa to be able to teach AI for free. And we still do that now. So if you're interested in free AI classes, you can go to Cirble.org. So I'm going to paint a big story about one of a character. So let's enter this time machine together. So we have a lady here called Zara. She's, a very brilliant second year physics student. She has different timelines and different decisions that she needs to make. And your votes on this chat is going to be what helps her to reveal her destiny. So I really need you guys to help us to get her to, navigate the challenges as a Black woman in this world, So we know that the gender gap exists, right? And it kind of breaks apart her timeline. So we've got things like, drop-off rates where kids, will study science and then drop out. You experience racism, harassment, your voice is sometimes silenced, people talk over you, there's no respect. And so we want to just journey with Zara through this, right? And then really just go and activate this time machine. So now, our girl Zara, she's now second year. She's at Kwesi University. There's no labs for her climate AI prototype. She wants to build a prototype for her business that she's in, university, but she wants to experiment with AI. The professors are dismissing her ideas. The male lecturers are openly mocking her ambitions in front of everyone in class. He's saying engineering is not for girls, right? And she's one of the three girls that are in her actual class. There's no funding, there's no mentorship. And 60% of women in STEM face this harassment, this isolation. And so we want to find out, what does Zara do? So please, in the chat really quickly, we only have well, let's make it 1 minute. What should Zara do? All right? The time is ticking. Put in the chat A, B, or C. So A, should she quit and find a stable path? B, should she rally for sisters and find mentors? Or C, should she self-isolate and self-teach? So with option A, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. What should we do? Because our decision now is going to navigate her path. If she A, quits and finds a stable path, then she's going to live STEM for a non-technical career, which is kind of safe, but then, the system is still broken. If B, she finds mentors and sisters, she can organize some sort of a hackathon, report the harassment, and then she can also reach out to mentors, right? At She Codes Africa or ADP lists, right? If you don't know what those are, you can look them up. Or she can self-isolate and just go solo and grind through the textbooks alone, right? And build that resilience, but without networks. How far can she really go? And I'm seeing in the chat you guys are putting B, so that's amazing. Let's go with B. Let's vote B. Great. Now, what does that outcome produce? Okay, so Zara then says, okay, girls, rallies her sisters. Then she reports the harassment that the lecturer, gave onto her, right? She reports it to the university. She finds a mentor at ADP list. You can look up ADP list. And the Underground Hackathon births this new solar-powered lab kit idea. So, she's forming networks in the university, her confidence is growing, and she's also documenting on LinkedIn the story, right? And her first post actually gets 5,000 views, right? So this drift and this rift is actually healing. Did you guys know that once you have a mentor or a peer network, women are more likely to remain in STEM with that support network by 3x. So remember, if you're going through a really tough time, document everything, the times, the places, who was there, report the harassment. Don't be afraid to speak up, right? You can submit it anonymously. And when you're working on something new, remember to amplify your story on LinkedIn, because your LinkedIn post today is your job offer tomorrow. And, that's why I'm here. So I want to talk you through some of the resources that you can, if you're in the situation like our dear Zara here, remember to report and resist. If you face harassment, there's places we can go. About 60% of women in STEM actually report this bias and harassment. I'm pretty sure almost 80 to 90% of them experience it, but only a few of them actually report it. Now, also remember, you can find a mentor if you go to adplist.org, and you can get, technical professionals all around the world that can help with mentorship. You can also go to She Code Africa, Women Tech Network, and you get paired up with a mentor. It's so important to have someone who's rooting for you, who's advocating for you for free, right? Because they'll always have you in the back of your mind. You can also go to Heels in Tech, and this is a place where you can go and get your digital skills, right? If you want to go into the tech sphere, which is very much necessary right now in the world. And there's also funding opportunities. MasterCard usually gives a lot of funding to African women. So we're not alone. There's opportunities. And even though the opportunities are very limited, reach out to the network, right? They know someone. Just don't be afraid and shy to reach out. I want to hear from someone really quickly, and I might call out your name. But Manti, Jimmy, do you mind sharing why you said option B? Manti, do we have you here?
Nancy Jimmy, please, can you
Yes,
unmute
ma. Good
yourself?
evening, ma.
Great.
Good evening. Can you maybe share with us why you said option B?
Please, I don't get you, ma.
Oh, okay. It's okay, but I just wanted to understand why you thought the option because you voted B, right?
Jimmy,
I
you
don't
picked
really know.
letter B. Why
Oh,
did
okay.
you choose B?
Oh, it's
I don't
okay.
really know how to explain, but I guess the answer will be later B.
Hmm. Okay, it's okay. So I might ask one or two people to share their thoughts in the next voting opportunity. We'll have maybe about three opportunities to vote on something. So I'm just wanting to kind of get your thoughts and ideas because the ideas sit with us, right? They don't sit with a few people. All of us have thoughts of how we can make the situation better. So here's an opportunity, right? So now we've stabilized things a little bit with option B. Zara now has the solar kit going viral in the tech world. But AI hiring bots, are rejecting her application. Some of them have hidden racial bias, right? They might check her name, it's too African. Maybe check her location. No, we don't want to support Nigeria. There might be some bias to it, right? So a male classmate with lower grades gets the internship that she deserves. Funding applications keep getting denied, telling her you're not the right fit. And she discovers that even when she wants to do a small business, only 2% of that funding actually goes to Black founders, right? So there's like a little fork in the road, and we have emerging technologies like space tech, climate tech, and AI. Let's find out what you guys think around which option to go for. So A, B, or C. So do we want to say she should grind and climb the corporate ladder? Or B, should she launch an open source drones with allies? Or C, should she flee to distant lands? Migrate. So A, when we say A, she can play the game, climb the corporate ladder in this biased system, but then of course she's going to experience those microaggressions, right? If she decides to stay in this kind of ecosystem, or she could launch the her thing. So it's like, building her drone and then applying for like Google Startup Africa or Space for Africa fellowships. She could do that. Or C, should she seek opportunities to go abroad, get better funding, but obviously there's a brain drain for Africa. um, I won't pick on you to discuss, but please vote. We've got a few seconds. Okay, we're seeing B, B. Okay, we'll go for two more votes. Feel free to submit. 40 seconds. Okay, we got A. Got another B. All right, so it seems B is the most popular option. Let's go for B. And build that. Great. Okay. So our girl Zara, she's got this open source thing that she's working in tech now. It's actually working really well with 94% accuracy. She even wins like a Google Startup Africa grant. Her team gets space for women backing, right? And she earns money on datarand.com doing AI microtasks, right? To fund her prototype even more. So she documents everything on LinkedIn. Her impact goes viral. The timeline is timelining. And so women-led tech spaces are actually, when they're united, they're very powerful, right? So if you can apply for like Techstars, You apply for Google Startup for Africa, that one's very popular. Apply for Space for Africa. And you can even use our platform, DataRand, to get extra income as a student because I know how tough that can be. I've been a student before. And so there's many options, right? There's many resources that if we're putting ourselves in Zara's position, that we would need to grow. So, for example, as mentioned already, the top three, but there's also something we're working on with GSMA. GSMA is like a conglomerate of telecoms, and it's called the World Sandbox Alliance. And this is specifically for African innovators. So, if you've got an idea you want to test out with AI and you need that compute, and you don't want to pay for Google, you don't want to pay for Microsoft, you don't want to pay for AWS, you can go to the World Sandbox Alliance and run your code in there. And this will provide you all the resources you need. And of course, if you just want to earn money, like small bits of money, just doing tasks, you can always use datarand.com as well and sign up there. So there's a lot of options that we're setting up as, people within Africa to help support our students. So I'm not going to pick on anyone for this one. For the last one, I might. Let's look into what's the final step now. Okay, so we've jumped into this timeline for Zara. So it seems that this drone could really redefine STEM forever as she wants to do. So the world leaders are actually watching. But even here, she faces doubt, right? Because even though you're in STEM and you reach certain heights, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't stop for anyone, right? It doesn't stop for men or women. It doesn't stop for whether you're black, white, or pink. People will still try you. They still will disrespect you. And there's ways in which you need to now understand and define for yourself, what are my boundaries? What am I willing to tolerate or not tolerate, right? And it's just human nature to try people, it's human nature. But I think that African women need to find that strength within ourselves to really, it's okay to be strong, and I think that the challenge comes in when we're naturally very, I want to say, humble, and we have this thing called Ubuntu, which really defines how we act with each other. But different cultures are different, right? And so sometimes adapting from that Ubuntu perspective of being very meek and mild with each other and careful and respectful, that might be when we shift contexts into the global field, it means that maybe we might have to be strong and a bit tough. And even if we labeled, it doesn't matter because we know who we are, right? Even if we labeled as difficult, labeled as aggressive, that doesn't matter. Is business being done? Are things happening? And what really makes me proud is to see African women bringing in that confidence, right? When they're in school, when they're at tables, bringing that self-confidence is so, so important because unfortunately the world reads you based on your confidence. And if you don't have it, you're going to have to find it. But here we see Zara, she faces some doubts, right? So the panel moderator introduces her male co-presenter as the technical lead and Zara as also on the team. Yet she's the main person. And so she has a choice. Does she stay quiet or does she own her narrative? How does Zara share her breakthrough? So we're going to vote together again. Does she, number one, publish quietly? Release a paper, an academic paper, academia will see it. Does she, B, have a team pitch and full social bits? So like she goes live on a team presentation, crediting everyone. She posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and she owns the narrative with receipts to say, this is my idea, I did this. Or does she stay in the shadows, let the work speak for itself? It's okay, I don't need to boast. My work will speak for itself. I'll avoid the sunlight, the spotlight. I'll avoid the haters and let my reputation speak for itself, right? What do we think is the best option here? A, B, or C? Really quick in the chat, we've got 74 seconds. We've got option A. Option B. Yep. We'll get 2 or 3 more votes. What do we think? What would we do in her situation? Option B. Anyone that's not option B? All right. Can I hear from David Christiana? Why would you say option B is the best option? Do you have an experience with this yourself? David Christiana, can you hear us? Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Um,
And go ahead.
I chose option B because from the options, that's my from the options and the question, I think that's a perfect option to pick because you can't stay in the shadow and publish quietly and you expect progress or you expect results. It has to be you have to show your results, you have to track it. So staying in the shadows is not an option.
Very good. Is there someone who feels like they prefer to stay in the shadows and they're very uncomfortable using social media, posting on LinkedIn? I'd love to hear from your side. Does anyone feel that way? Okay, I'm going to assume everyone is very confident and everyone has LinkedIn. Okay, amazing. Right. So now what happens? So Zara's team goes viral. 50 million views. She corrects the moderator live. She says, I'm the lead engineer. Here's my data. And she becomes a keynote legend. Her LinkedIn impact report says 94% accuracy, 12 lives saved, 2 million prevented damages. She gets her MasterCard Foundation scholarship for her PhD. You know, a generation of women and girls see her and they see themselves in her. So her timeline has just expanded with possibility, right? Whereas before she had that narrow possibility. But because she was able to present herself widely to the world and to take steps to mitigate any bias that she experienced, she expanded her timeline with possibilities. So it's really important for us to learn to document our impact with numbers, make it quantifiable, to communicate it on LinkedIn, right? To communicate it on Twitter or at events. Apply for those, the MasterCard Foundation is really great. We have AAUW, get fellowship from this, from even, the WAAW Foundation, get that mentorship from this organization. We have other scholarships like FFTF. Visibility doesn't mean you're vain or there's something wrong with you. It's just a strategy. It's how you fund your future. It's how people see you. I'll give you an example. The WOW Foundation made this post on LinkedIn to present me as a speaker for the session. What followed after that is someone inboxed me and said, "Hey Liz, we've actually got a contract job to work. It's like a high level government job. I mean, not job, but like opportunity, right? For you to do some insights for government," because they saw the post that the WOW Foundation created, right? And I myself am very uncomfortable with bragging, but you see how this, how one step leads to another step. It's so important. So here are some real resources for you. So the first one is, please let's amplify our LinkedIn and our socials, right? It's free as far as I know. I think that for students, if you've got a student email address, I believe that LinkedIn gives you free LinkedIn professional accounts for some time. So please check that out. Um, and I think we as people need to get into the habit of documenting our every weekly, monthly step, right? This is our action plan. This is what I've achieved in the month. When you plan, you win. And share those wins. But sometimes in the startup world and even in just this LinkedIn world, people are very shy to share their failures, right? But sometimes it's very interesting because it makes you appear as more honest and more credible when you do share some of the things that didn't work for you. And I think that as Africans, we sometimes don't share those things. And for in the US, it's like they wear it as a badge of honor to fail. They always say fail fast. And for us, we feel like failures and we're going to be judged by our peers. It's not really our necessarily culture. So it's okay to share those learnings and maybe to repackage it or reframe it as not failures, but your learnings, your lessons, right? It's all about how you frame and package your words. And I want to also encourage you to tag your community, right? The WAAW Foundation. Um, and women who post on LinkedIn actually get 2x more recruiter attention than those that don't. And I really want to emphasize the importance of when you communicate to always provide numbers. My resume right now, I always just keep it 2 pages. That's it, just 2 pages. And all of the things that I've done is like one or two bullet points of the I don't list my job duties. I just list this is the impact I've had in that time that I was there. Even if it's an internship, I'll say, okay, this is what I did, but I'll always make sure I add a number to it. I reviewed 20 customer reports, and I managed to add this recommendation or suggestion that led to this thing. Quantity helps people understand your impact, and that's what all they're looking for. They want to know that if I work with you, are you impactful? So I think that we also need to develop a speaking culture, and this will be in whatever accent we have, in whatever, we need to work our communication skills, because communication skills is transferable, right? Whichever context you're in, whatever you do, making sure people can understand what you're saying becomes very important. It's something we're all learning, and we'll learn till the day that we die, because, being understood leads you more to those dimensions, opens you up to more of those possibilities, right? And seeking for ways to be understandable to different audiences is a skill set. And so let's apply for the TEDx in Abuja, right? Let's apply for TEDx in Lagos. Let's look at the She Leads Africa pitch competitions and just practice pitching some ideas that we might have. There's also Google Dev Fest as well. And then as well, if you're interested, as I mentioned, in free AI classes, we provide those as well. We've taught hundreds of students at the University of Johannesburg, and we all teach them for free. And if you want to learn and so you can teach, we can also do that for you as well. So, right. So we did really well, guys. We got 90 out of 90. So well done. We actually rewrote her story or history for Miss Zara, right? She could have been a crazy dropout, right? But now she's like, she's in summits, she's an icon, she's a legend. So Zara's journey lives because your choices that you made for her. So how about we make those choices for ourselves, right? If you need any more resources, I'm more than happy to provide them for you. And I just want to really help amplify you by continuing to document, post, speak, build publicly. And I want us to kind of do a final activity together. This is going to help you, and it may help me. I'm going to give a quick shout out to my company, Cirble. So if you ever see it on LinkedIn, please follow us. But other than that, let's all go to LinkedIn. You can do this on your phone or your laptop. If you're already watching from here, that's fine. And look at your bio on LinkedIn and see what it is, right? And see if you can make it better. Is there, if it's your bio or your description, see if you can throw in a number of something that you've done to quantify it a little bit better. So I'm going to leave that for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Have a look. And then I'd love to hear from 2 people that I'll pick randomly to say, what's your bio? Let's hear how you're selling yourself. And I'm really, really hoping that I can also answer your questions after. So I'm going to give that 2 minutes. Yeah, let's do 2 minutes. Okay. I would love to hear what your current bio is, or the description, whichever you're more comfortable with, and whether that really actually represents you, or you need to edit it, or you've edited it. I'm going to pick on Esther first. Esther Onifade. Miss Esther, are you there? Esther Faith. Okay, perfect. Esther is here with us. Are you able to speak? If not, I can pick someone else. All right, let's pay. Oh, there we go. Hi, Esther. Ah, okay. All right, no problem. Okay, let's pick Precious Balogu, Baloshu. I'm being challenged today. Precious, so anyone, Faith, Graziana, Miriam, anyone that wants to share what their bio is. Perfect.
I'll just go. Hi, hello.
Hi.
So mine says digital communication strategist and dedicated advocate for social justice and equity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay. And do you feel that that's a good representation of you, or do you want to change it a little bit?
I feel like the first part gives insight into what I do, communications, and the second part talks about what I'm passionate about. So I feel like it's well rounded in terms of keyword. So yeah, I'm comfortable with it.
You go, girl. Lovely. Thank you. Miriam, Graziana, Amenge or Amenge.
Hi.
Hi.
On my side, I'll say I'm not comfortable with it. Because I've only indicated that I'm just a student at Masen University and the skills I have learned in school.
Okay, yes, girl. We need to definitely change that. All right. And have you done an internship before?
Attachment, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Definitely, if you need help with that, I can definitely help. But I would recommend an upgrade. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have any questions for me, I can give it one more minute. Please feel free. It could be about my experience working in tech or my current university, anything. Okay, I'm glad you guys feel like you know me very well. I'm joking. But thank you so much for your time. Oh, okay, one question here. How did you navigate your way to the top? Wow. um, I don't know if I can say I'm at the top, but I think that in some cases I might be considered to be at the top. Yeah, it was tough. It was really, really tough. And I'm always honest about my journey. So in primary school, so when I was between the ages of 7 till 13, I learned how to study. And so learning how to study for me meant I needed to memorize something and say it 11 times for me to remember it in my brain. So once I say something 11 times, it doesn't leave me. So my strength has always been theory, numbers, and remembering things. And so I did really well in school because of that, right? Like I was in the top 10 in high school, prefect and everything because of that memory trick that I learned. But once I got to university, I even though I grew up with a computer in my home, I didn't know what programming was. So I struggled so much in the first year. I've never failed a test in my life, but in the first year it was very difficult for me. and I needed to realize how my brain learns, and I needed to know myself to do better. So in the second year, I spent time talking to the lecturers, talking to the tutors, videos, those videos online for how to code, spending day and night literally in the library, in the labs, really trying to figure this thing out. And when I did that, I actually ended up getting a scholarship because I did so well in my class. And I was like, okay, she's back. Okay, great. But I needed that first year to really kind of humble me a little bit. And so I spent the rest of the years as well, just trying my best. And what I did was I really hustled, you guys. I applied for Google Student Ambassador. I would recommend that program if you can apply. I also applied for Microsoft Student Partners. And so I was an advocate for Microsoft products and Google products on campus. And I hosted sessions to bring people and make them learn. And that's what gave me access to the network at Google and Microsoft, to the point where they gave me an internship at Google because I was a student partner for free. So I started off doing things for free. And I also worked on campus. I just did like 5 internships, I think, just working, trying to get extra money. I stretched myself as well to even apply for internships in the US for 3 months. I worked in the US for 3 months, just because I was trying to build my resume. I said I have to be the best Liz there is in this world. And then once I got the Google, on my resume, then it was easy sailing from there, because my first job, Standard Bank called me, asked me to interview. I was like, okay, great. Then the next job, Meta called me. So all these jobs just came by themselves because I was building my resume. And I really recommend you starting off, even if it's free, just build that resume slowly. And I'm lucky because I'm more academically inclined than I am maybe anything else. So when I did get to the jobs, I made sure I worked extremely hard. And I created connections within the company. So I wasn't just doing my work, I was networking and talking to people to expand more of those opportunities. And of course, I experienced everything that Zara experienced, everything. It's almost like my story. You will experience everything. I had lecturers in university just like treat me badly because I was one of the only girls. No reason at all. But you have to build that resilience over time. It sucks in the moment, but you just have to kind of be tough a little bit more. And then when I got to Meta, I worked super hard. I wouldn't recommend working over the time, because I did burn out, to be honest with you. I got the promotions and everything. I worked super hard, but I burnt out so bad that I was really, really struggling. But now I left corporate, starting my own company, and I'm starting from scratch and just trying a new challenge. So I won't say I'm at the top, but I'm starting from the bottom in corporate. But I do believe that hard work really just was everything. Thank you so much for the question. And I don't know, I don't think we have a lot of time left, but I do see some other questions as well. Oh,
Hi,
okay.
you can take the questions.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm seeing a question. So I'm always looking for ways to expand my world and to just be the best person I can be, because as a Christian, I believe that God has given me talents that I must exercise. So I also thought to myself, I'd like to go to the moon. And I mean, not just to space, right? Like suborbital space. And so I applied for those kinds of opportunities as well, because I just think that the world is literally your oyster. You can do anything you want to do. Like, don't allow anyone to tell you anything. They can't tell you nothing. So I really, yes, I would 100% help upgrade. Let me just check the questions really. Is it okay to put your position probably in your community, like general secretary, president, also in your bio on LinkedIn? Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. What will be your advice to someone who is putting in the effort but little or no results to show for it? Okay. That happens. That happened to me for a good year as well. I think then try to pivot, because maybe it means it's either you're not in the right space right now, and there's many options. Either you're not in the right space right now and you need to pivot, or you are in the right space right now, but it's not the right time, and you need to go over something many times in order to get it. But once you do that, it's actually going to benefit you in the future. I'll give you an example. So when I've did really bad in that one test or in this module that I had, and I had to repeat the module in university. It was devastating. I was like, I've never failed anything. This is so strange. But when I did it again, I became so good at it that now when I went to corporate world, no one could tell me anything. But it was a setback in that moment, but then it was actually setting me up. So you can look at it from those things, and also look to getting a mentor, someone who can say, "Oh, you're actually going wrong here." And thank you so much for saying the story is inspiring. Um, yes, and please do your best. Give it your all. Don't give up. And if you ever need a ear, someone to listen to, I'm on LinkedIn. Reach out to me. I have also connections I can help you with as well. Please reach out for help. Don't suffer alone. Okay, thank you so much. That's all from me.
Wow. If I say I'm not inspired myself, that would be a very big lie. Really. Thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed every bit of it. Do you know what stood out for me? Because I'm a storyteller, I love to write stories. I'm actually a writer. And so since you presented the whole speech and all in a story format, it captured me, captured my heart, captured my entire being. I was just here listening to you speak all through. Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you. Thank you very much. This means a lot to us, and um we are glad you came up on board for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, let's appreciate Liz in the chat room. She has done so well for us. She has given us lots of insights. Please, let's appreciate her in the chat room. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Right. I want to see your thank you notes here so that we can appreciate her even more. And please react, react. A lot of clapping should be going on here right now because Liz has given us a lot of things to actually binge on to help our mindsets. And I know it's an invaluable asset that we've gotten here today. Thank you so much once again, Liz, for all that you've talked to us about. Okay, I think my chat room is bustling, and that's all for you, Liz. I'm giving it to you. That's your flowers. You can have them. Thank you. Right. So without much ado, we will go over to what we have still. We have already had our question session. Thank you for always asking your questions, fellows. I mean, no question is stupid, right? So, next on our agenda is our recognizing our February outreaches. So, it's our ritual to always call out chapters and fellows who have done so well in the month. So for our February outreaches, we had 20 impactful outreach sessions, and it spanned across 7 countries, which are Cameroon, Congo, Egypt, Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, and Sudan. And then our outreaches impacted 1,673 girls and equipped 79 teachers were available, and also equipped 2,421 students across all our government, faith-based, and private institutions. And so to call out our chapters who were involved in these outreaches, the first on our list is the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and they did absolutely well. They held 2 outreaches this month. The next is Amuktaribin University, Sudan. They also held an outreach or 2 outreaches this month. Next on our list is the Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria. And we're going to run over this so that we don't keep us bored. We're already behind time. We have 4 minutes to the end of the meeting, but we're going to appeal with us to hold on a bit. Right. The University of Rwanda, CST Rwanda, also had outreaches this month, and the next is the Moi University, Kenya. Another chapter is the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Nigeria. And we have the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Nigeria as well. The Adventist University of Central Africa, Rwanda, also had outreaches this month. And we have the Tanta University chapter, Egypt. Next is the University of Bamenda, Cameroon. And the next is the University of Ibadan, Lagos, Nigeria. We also have African Leadership University, Rwanda. They also had outreaches this month. The last but not the least, the ULPGL Congo chapter also had an outreach this month. Okay, so we will go over to our shout out session. Our shout out session is basically for chapters who are trying to bounce back and have finally bounced back, and they are ready to actually make impacts across our network. And the first is the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria chapter. This chapter is the newest, I'll say is the newest chapter in our network right now, because it was just formed just this month. So the chapter lead, Sodia Ifeoluwa, reached out to us, and she made her intentions clear that she wanted to have a chapter in her school. She loved what we do, and she just wanted to be part of what we do. And so she started off the chapter. You can see on the screen that she has her executives. Everybody is ready to have their outreaches kicked off in earnest. So let's give a round of applause. Let your applause roll off for the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria chapter for successfully establishing their chapter with functioning executive team. And the next are the Delta State University chapter and the North University chapter as well. These two chapters have already been in existence, but for some reasons, they dwindled in the activities. But right now, they are back. They have bounced back on their feet. So we are taking this time out to say thank you for coming back to life. And we are here to have your back anytime, any day. So thank you for the successful revival of your chapter. And we look forward to seeing more of your impacts. Right. So last month, we mentioned to us that for the chapter of the month and our normal ritual, we'll be having 2 sessions or 2 categories where we have the chapter of the month who gets the award and the special recognition for a particular chapter who showed a significant growth. Right. So for this month of February.
Sorry, Lillian, I've been raising up my hand. Let me quickly come in. Your screen is not showing.
Are you
Just
serious?
calling your attention to that, yeah.
Okay. Let me quickly do that. Let me quickly share my screen. Sorry about that, guys. And I've just been rambling about. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I think everyone can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So that is that for our shout out session. So moving on to where I stopped, the special recognition chapter for this month is the budding chapter of the month. And what does that mean? They are the chapter that showed significant growth, like they showed significant growth in their prowess as a chapter, in their momentum, everything they did so well. And that goes to the Adventist University of Central Africa, Rwanda. Their chapter leads actually 2025 scholars, and they have been doing absolutely well. First, they were the pace setters in January. Right? Yes. I think they were part of the chapters that had their first outreaches for the year, and they opened up the road and the path for every other person that queued in this month. So a round of applause for the Adventist University of Central Africa, Rwanda, please. They did so well, and we are here to celebrate with them and appreciate them. Please, let's clap for them. I think someone is raising up his hand. Can we hear you speak? Israel.
Sorry, I wanted to clap.
Okay. All right, please let's make some noise for the Adventist University of Central Africa, Rwanda. They have done so well, and we appreciate you. We also encourage you to continue making impacts in your communities, in the secondary schools you go to, and let's all look out for your success stories from here going forward. Now, I know that all of us, we are here to also find out the chapter that is going on with our $100 award for the month. And so we'll be unveiling the chapter of the month. And we said the criteria for choosing the chapter of the month for the month of February would be the chapter that has the highest number of outreaches reported. Emphasis on reported. So if you had outreaches and you feel like your outreaches were way bigger than the number that we have, but we didn't get any report from you, then it's as good that you didn't have any outreach. We are not aware of them and you didn't report them to us. So we picked the winner of this month's chapter of the month award from the data that we have in hand. And so without so much ado, we are going to be unveiling the chapter of the month. And that will be the Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria. A round of applause for them. Please, let's clap. They have done so well. They have done so good. So they had 3 outreaches. They submitted 3 outreaches for the month of February, and it was impactful. Yeah, it was really impactful. They did great. They did so well. And we are here to celebrate with them and hand them the cup to take home. So they are the winner of our $100 award for the month of February. And we say congratulations to you all, the OAU chapter, WAAW Foundation. You have done well. Continue the good work. And I'll say something significant about this chapter. This chapter was also part of the chapter I would say we revived this year. Early this year, we were working on the chapter. We made sure we poured in our resources to get this chapter up. And they took up the challenge, and here they are today, just February of 2026, and they've won the chapter of the month. So you're going to have to emulate them and not dwindle and this is a call to all of us to please make sure to always report your outreach. when I come to your DMs to talk about reporting of outreaches, I am not just blabbing or trying to get into your schedule for the day. It's just something that is for your good, for our good, so that we can able to escalate your success stories, please. Right. So let's go back to the next thing we have on our slide. On our slide would be the reminders and the announcements, right? So here I have that there are slight adjustments to the report form. I'm going to reiterate this because I know I've said it last month, but repetition is good for emphasis, right? First of all, we made an adjustment to our report form. We need you to have videos of yourself, one, where you went for the outreach, and second of all, a video of a girl child or some girl children where they share with us what you did in their school and how it has impacted them, or what they learned from the entire session you had in their school. We need those videos so that we can always shout out our impact stories to the world. You have heard our facilitator, what she said about blowing your own trumpet, so that we can scream it out on our LinkedIn pages. And it will be a proud thing for you that your chapter is the reason that post is up there on LinkedIn. You'll be very proud of yourself. If I am the one, I'll be proud of myself as well. So please, let us judiciously take these videos if it's not going to cause a hassle, because I know that there are some persons that may not really want their kids on screen, but we'll be sure that they are okay with these videos. And then you make those videos and send them to us. So make sure to take these videos. It's very, very important for our storytelling. Great. The next is our alumni updates. Like we said before, there is a learning series that is coming up this March, starting from next week, Saturday, actually, precisely. 7th of March. The 7th of March, we start the scholarship training series for our alumni members. So that learning series will span for 3 Saturdays because it's going to be really hands-on and very, very impactful. It promises to be very impactful. So it's going to help our alumni members, for those looking out for scholarships to further their studies abroad, and even in your home country right there, you get meaningful equipment, information, and something tangible to actually work with, some information to work with, so that you can be able to further your education or your graduate studies. Next, kindly ensure that all outreach activities are fully reported. Please, let's report our outreach. Please, I don't know. And remember, I said that 3 days after a particular outreach, without you reporting it, you will it will be counted as you not having an outreach at all. So please, 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 please report your outreach and report it fully. Report your outreach and report it fully. Now, next on our slide is chapter of the month updates. So for every month, I will reiterate again, in the year of 2026, chapter of the month, we have a special theme. And so for March, it will be Girl in STEM Champion Award. So more of this information will be shared with us in the group. Now, I will explain this. The Girl in STEM chapter Champion Award is, you're going to present us with a girl that has that is STEM inclined, right? She's passionate about STEM. She has done lots of researches, or probably she has a story to tell about STEM. So when you go for your outreaches, please watch out and scout for such a girl. And the video will make us know if you qualify for the award or not. And so the second category is also there. Would also share that to you in the group chats across all our WhatsApp groups. We would see the updates and of course engage. So please, let us please have a little time to fill up our feedback survey form. Let's quickly have that session right now. I'll drop that in the group chat immediately so that we can be able to have our survey form. Please fill the survey form. Fill the survey form. Fill the survey form. It's very important that you fill that. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Two key things to remember. We'll drop the survey form in the group so that you can like give back your feedback following this session. Then remember to go back to your LinkedIn profile, right? Based on the things you've learned from Liz, one of the things you can also do is mirror our profile, right? See what interests you. How can you replicate it? Or some people that you really admire their LinkedIn profile and you want to amplify yours. So that's like a take home for us. Let's leave this session knowing that because I came for today's Fellows Meetup Connect, I'm amplifying, I'm making my LinkedIn profile better. For those who don't have a profile, this would be a good time to go and open one and have it set up. So thank you so much for joining today's Fellows Meetup. Like I said, we'll share the feedback form in the group. Thank you, guys. Have a great month ahead. I mean, we're starting a new month in the month of March, so have a great one ahead. Bye. Oh, Ebere, I'm just saying your question. OAU 1, we're going to drop it in the group as well. Yes. All right, guys. Bye. Take care.
Ma, I'm not seeing the survey link form in the chat.
Okay, hello everyone. Please, we'll drop the survey link in the group chat so that you can fill up the form from there. As for now, let's have our snapshots before we go off, please. Please, put on your videos so that we can. Okay, nice view. Okay, let me quickly take that before we go up. Please put on your videos. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for staying up to this point. This is good, and we hope to hear from you next month. Please plan to attend. Plan to attend. Thank you very much. I have a nice evening.
Hi, Olga, thank you. So just officially close the group, like say thank you so much for everyone for joining. Then call to action. So let's do the call to action again. Remember to set up your LinkedIn profile for those who don't have a profile. If you need to upgrade your review and upgrade your profile, like that stuff I said, so that there's like a specific call to action. So thank you so much. Have the rest of your weekend and connect on Monday.